model. Is that the screen what I have shared? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the second model is all about requirement engineering. Okay, this word already you have heard. Okay, before that, can anyone tell me what do you mean by software process? What do you mean by software process? These all things we have already studied in the first module itself. Can you tell me what is software process, guys? Can anyone? Can anyone define what is software process? These all things we have already studied, right? Have you remembered? Software, what do you mean by software process? What do you mean by software process model? Huh? Then what are all the different activities are there in the software process? These all things so in detail we have studied in the first module itself. Just to define me now, what do you mean by software process?
Ma'am, a software process is a set of activities required to develop a software systems, ma'am.
Yes, good Sujit, right? It is just going to have different kinds or the sets of the different activities that are needed to develop the any kind of a software project. Yes or no? Yes. Then what do you mean by software process
Yes, ma'am.
model? What do you mean by software process model?
Specification, ma'am.
Yes, what it is exactly? Just you are representing it. Simplified representation or the abstract representation of the your software process itself. Modeling, name itself indicates software process model. Whatever the software process is there, in that what all the activities are there, right? You are representing in some simplified manner, in an abstract manner, in a diagrammatic manner, right? That is what called as the software process model. Which are all the different software process models we have studied, guys? Have you remembered?
Waterfall
Yes, Nehal, waterfall model. Then only one.
model,
Only one waterfall model. Any other?
increment development
Yes, incremental development. Yes,
and
good.
integration.
Yes, integration and configuration, or you can call it as a reuse oriented software engineering model. Right? Three different kinds of software process models also we have studied. Then is the what are the different kinds or the fundamental activities that are included within the software process? Main four activities are there. Those are fundamental for the software engineering. Which are those activities? Have you remembered? Which are the
Software
activities?
specification,
Yes, software
devel-
specification,
validation, evaluation,
validation, evaluation. Yes, good, Snehal. Any other?
and
Design
development.
and implementation.
Design and development, right? Or you can call it as a design and implementation, or simply you can call it as a software development, right? These are the different kinds of software process activities we have studied, right? In that, the software specification, right? What is the use of that activity? What it is going to tell you? Software specification activity. What it is going to define? Software process activity. Is guys software specification. What it is going to tell? Yes. Any answer for this? Software specification. It is also called as a requirement engineering process, as already I told. This also we have studied in the first unit itself. Software process, software specification, it is also called as a requirement engineering process. What it is going to define? Have you remembered? Can anyone tell me about the software specification? No answer for this? Riya, Sumaya, Soumya. Any answer for this? Do you know?
Don't know, ma'am.
Don't know, don't remembered, or not remembered, right? It is just going to define what the system should do, right? Is there any limitations are there, how it is get developed, right? Is there any constraints are there on its operation, right? these all things will be defined by the software specification. Name itself indicates specification. That means it is going to specify or it is going to define what kind of operations can be performed by that particular system. That means it is going to define what the system should do. Right, along with that it is also going to give the constraint. Constraints are not nothing but you can say the limitations. What all the limitations are there on the operation of that particular software system which you have developed, right? How it is developed, yes, depending upon that which are all the limitations are there, that everything will be defined in a software specification. It is also called as requirement engineering process. I hope it is clear at least, guys. Just
Yes, ma'am.
remember, software
Yes, ma'am.
specification is nothing but it is going to define what the system should do. Right. Right. Now the second unit is all about the requirement engineering itself. You are going to study. Clear in detail how exactly the software specification this activity will be performed, right? What all the different sub stages are there. Already this also we have studied in detail, some in brief, that is software specification. It is going to have a requirement elicitation and the analysis, requirement validation, requirement evaluation. The different stages also we have studied, right, in detail. Again, once again we are studying in this whole module these are all different kinds of requirements. Clear? So we'll start with the second module. As already told, it is all about requirement engineering process, right? See, in requirement engineering, in this particular module, you are going to study what do you mean by functional and the non-functional requirement, right? And what are the different kinds of software engineering processes, right? How we are going to develop the software, right, by using the requirement engineering process. And these are the sub stages within the requirement engineering process, that is requirement elicitation, requirement specification, requirement validation, requirement change. These all different kinds of sub stages are there in the requirement engineering process. In detail you are going to study it here. Only this model is very small, right, only related to the requirement engineering process. Simple things are there. Clear? Only the model first is very big model. Again third model is again very vast syllabus is there in module third. But second module is very simple. Only simple concepts are there. Yes, and less number of concepts are there. Are you getting, guys? These are all topics we are going to cover in this module 2. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that the screen is visible what I have shared?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See. Now
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
see what do you mean by exactly requirement engineering process. As already I have defined, it is a process of establishing the services that the customer requires from the system. See, that means the customer what he is going to require from the system. Those all services will be established by the requirement engineering process. Along with that, the constraints under which it operates and it is developed. See, the same thing I told now, what the requirement engineering process defines, what system should do, right? That means what the customer requirement is there, right, from that particular system. What are the different services are there, that everything will be established. Along with that, the constraint under which or the limitations under which that particular system is going to operate and how it is developed, that everything will be established during the software the specification you can say, or the requirement engineering process. Clear? Now at least the requirement engineering, what exactly this process is going to do. The process of establishing the services that the customer requires from the system. Along with that, the constraint under which it operates and it developed. Clear? Are you
Yes, ma'am.
getting? So the system requirements are the description of the system services and the constraint that are generated during the requirement engineering process. See, how we are going to specify again the system requirement. System requirements are nothing but just a description about the whatever the services you are going to establish within the requirement engineering process, right? The description about the system services along with the constraint that are generated during the requirement engineering process. That everything description will be given by the system requirement. I hope it is clear, getting the thing. The system requirements are nothing but these are the description of the system services along with the constraints that are generated during the requirement engineering process, right? Constraints are nothing but you can say it as a limitations, right? Limitations on the operation. Now for example, MS Word is developed. This is a one particular software, right? Whether the MS Word is going to do the work which are related with the MS Excel, is it possible? All the works can be done which can be done by the Excel. Is it possible through the Word? Is it possible, guys? No, right? So that is, those are you can create as a constraints. Just I'm saying one example, right? Some activity you can do, right? Some processes you can execute, but not all. So the limitations you are going to specify on the operation of that particular software system, that is possible in the requirement engineering. I hope it is clear, guys, what do you mean by requirement engineering process, what it is going to define, and how the system requirements, what do you mean by software system requirements. These are nothing but just the description about your system services along with the constraints. Clear? Getting a thing, guys? Yes or no? Please respond. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, your voice is getting back, ma'am, in between.
I think network issue, ma'am.
Hello, can you hear me, guys? Hello?
Ma'am, your network is.
No.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, Sumaya. I can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, your voice is breaking in middle, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is audible, no? Clearly. Sumaya.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Is that clear? What is requirement engineering? What I have explained?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
see what do you mean by exactly requirement. We are telling requirement engineering, system requirements, user requirements. What do you mean by that requirement exactly? That we are going to define here now. Right? The requirement, it is nothing but a range from the high level abstract statement of a services or a system constraint to a detailed mathematical functional specification. See, it may be you can define, right, the requirement as the high level abstract statement, right, or you can indicate it as a what, the constraint, whatever the constraint will be there on the operation of that software system, that will be defined by the some mathematical functions, right? Those all are you are calling it as a requirement. Getting the thing? It may be what you are representing by using a mathematical functions, or it may be like a abstract statement, right? That is what you are calling it as a requirement. I hope it is clear what is requirement. It may range from high level abstract statement of a service or of a system, the constraint to a detailed mathematical functional specification. Clear? Getting the thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now we'll see how we are going to choose the requirement, right? This is inevitable that as requirements may serve the dual function, right? They are going to serve as a dual function. First one is it may be basis for the bid for the contract. That means the bidding. No bidding, how to bid.
Yes, ma'am.
Bidding, general meaning, right? So on the basis of the bid for the contract, therefore must be open for the interpretation. That means for the requirement, whatever the requirements are there, right, that can be taken like a bid for the bid for a contract, or it may be basis for the contract itself. Therefore it must be defined in detail. Both these statements may be called as a requirement. See, it may be basis for the bid for the contract, or it may be the contract itself, right? So the dual functions that will be served by the requirement. So these both statements you are calling it as a requirement. Now we'll see one example, then you will come to know what is exactly this bid for the contract and everything. Is that the screen is visible, guys? See, just go through the requirement abstraction. As already told, it is going to the requirement, you can say it as a high level abstract statement. It may contain high level abstract statement. See, now go through the abstraction how it will be given for the requirement. See there, if a company wishes to let a contract for the large software development project, right? A company is wishing to contract for the large software development project, it must define its needs in a sufficiently abstract way, that is that a solution is not predefined, only it is going to specify, right, what all the requirements are needed, and it is not going to predefine how the solutions will be done, how it is going to include that requirement, right? So the requirements must be written so that the several contractor can bid for the contract. Getting the thing? A company wants to develop on large software development, right? It will come up with a requirement, so it is written all the requirements what needs to be present in their software project. So at that time the several contractor can bid for that particular contract to develop that large software. Clear? Getting the thing? This is what
Yes,
may
ma'am.
be the basis for the bid for the contract. Correct? Different ways of meeting the client organization's needs. Once the contract has been awarded, the contractor must be write the system definition for the client in more detail, so that the client understand and can validate what the software will do. See, after bidding, one contractor is going to get the contract of that large software development. After that, what the contractor will do, again he is going to write the system definition, right, for the client in more detailed manner. Clear? So the company people will understand and they can validate what exactly that software will do. Both of these documents may be called as a requirement document for the system. Exactly, just one example how exactly the requirements are going to serve the dual function. It may be basis for the bid for the contract, or it may be basis on the contractor itself. If it is maybe basis on the contractor itself, means he is going to define it in more detail, right, so that the client can understand and he can also validate what that exactly the software is going to do. Yes, is that clear? Getting the thing? First, the company will come up with some idea. It wants to develop one large software development. At that time the bidding will be called, right, for the contract of that large software development. Is that clear? So many people will come, so many contractors will come. One will get the bidding. He will win the bidding. Once he win the bidding, at that time what he will do? The contractor will write the system definition in detail once again. Right? So that the client will understand that requirements along with the validation of that one will be done. So by using that one, he will come to know what exactly that software will do. These both statements you are calling it as a requirement for the system. Is that clear, guys? Getting the thing? What is requirement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting? How about others?
Yes, ma'am.
Getting the
Yes,
same
ma'am.
what is requirement,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
same definition is there, right? The same definition I have shown here. Now we have seen an example for the requirement. What I told, the requirement is nothing but just it ranges from the high level abstract statement, or it may contain the system constraint to be detailed to a detailed mathematical functional specification. So the requirements are going to serve as a dual function, may be basis for the bid for the contract, right, and may be basic for the contractor itself. So both of these statements you are going to call it as a requirements, right? I hope this example is clear how we are going to define a requirement, guys. Any doubts with
Yes,
the
ma'am.
requirement? You have
Yes,
seen
ma'am.
what do you mean by requirement engineering. In that, what do you mean by requirement? How it is going to serve the dual functionality that we have seen now. Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Then
No,
we'll
ma'am.
start with the next concept. What are the different types of requirements are there? There are mainly two kinds of requirements. One is user requirement and second one is the system requirement. Clear? There are two kinds of requirements are there. One is user requirement and second one is the system requirement. Now we'll see what do you mean by exactly user requirement and who are all the different users, right? Who are going to use the user requirement, that everything you are going to study here. First we will see what do you mean by user requirement. See, the statements in natural language plus the diagrams of the services of the system provides and its operational constraints written for the customers. Clear? The statements, the requirement, how we are going to write, not in abstract, right? Instead of that, what you are writing in a natural language. Along with some diagrams will be added to indicate the what type of a service that particular system is going to provide, and which are all the constraints are there on its operation and its development. Those requirements are written for the customers. Clear? So if it is written in the natural language, then only the customer will understand. Yes or no? Yes or no? If you write it in
Yes, ma'am.
some technological technical manner or the technical way, at that time it is not easy for to understand the normal user, right? So you are writing the statements which are in the natural language. Along with that, the diagrams already you know the diagrammatical manner, if the representation is very easier compared to the writing. Yes or no? Correct. The brain will capture the images easily rather than the write-up. Yes or no? These things you know. So the statements which you are going to write in the natural language, along with some the diagrams of the services which the system is going to provide, along with that its constraints on its operation. These type of statements are written for the customers. So these statements or this statement you can call it as a user requirement. The next is system requirement. System means it is in most detailed description will be there about the system's function, the services and the operational constraints, and defines what should be implemented. So may be a part of a contract between the client and the contractor. See, once the bid is win, right? Once the bid is win by the particular contractor after a bidding, right? What he is going to do? He is going to specify the system services in detail. Yes or no? He is going to define the system services in detail so that the client is going to understand and he is going to validate what exactly system will do. Yes or no? So the system requirements, mainly these will be defined by the contractor itself. No? It is that along with the system functions and the services and the constraints on the operation, along with that it is also going to define what should be implemented, right? What should be implemented in that particular software system. Is that clear? that will become the part of a contract between the client and who own that particular contract, that is a contractor. Are you getting, guys? Got the difference between the types of requirement? Please
Yes, ma'am.
respond so that I'll understand there is no network issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct? Are you getting what it is exactly? User requirements means the statements which are written in very simplest manner so that even the end user will understand. Right? That you can call it as a user requirement, mainly written for the customers. Then second one is system requirements, indicates what? These requirements are going to specify what in more detailed description about the system function, services and the constraints on its operation. Along with that, how, by using a which way you are going to implement, right, those services, that everything will be what? Provided in the system requirement. Is that clear? Getting the thing? We'll write no.
Yes, ma'am.
System requirements, like for example, you are going to use the Windows 7 or above, right? Which operating system you are going to use, right? Linux, right? Or you are going to use Windows 10 itself to develop a particular project. Those are nothing but your system requirements. Getting the thing? And hardware of the hard disk, how much space you need, hard disk, what will be the speed of the RAM, that everything you are going to specify, right? Are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, those are nothing but the system requirement. Clear? I hope are you getting these things? User requirement and the system requirement. Got the difference? These are the two different kinds of requirements are there. Clear? What do you mean by user requirement and the system requirement? Now just
Yes, ma'am.
go through the slide. You will come to know again the example is given. See there, user requirement definition. Already we have studied one case study. Have you remembered? Mentcare system. Mental health care system. Have you remembered? That particular system is going to store all the information about the patients who are suffering from the mental illness. Have you remembered that case study, guys? In the very first class we have studied some 4 case studies: insulin pump, mental care
Yes,
system, right? I-learning.
Yes, ma'am.
Then along with that some wilderness weather station, right? In the same class I told that the same case studies will be used in the further modules also. The same thing they are going to use. Now with respect to that Mentcare system, already I told the Mentcare system is exactly what? It is going to store the information about all the patients who are suffering from the mental illness. That work is done in the Mentcare system. So if we are defining the user requirement for that particular Mentcare system, what it is going to have, just go through that. The Mentcare system is going to generate the monthly management reports showing what is the cost of the drugs prescribed by each clinic during that month. Right? They are not going to go for the same hospital again and again. Right? The mental health care system. Right? So what exactly user requirement is going to have? It is going to have a report showing that what will be the cost of the drug that are prescribed for those mental illness people. Yes, prescribed by each clinic during that particular month. That you can specify within the user requirement. Right? Then what all the different specification or definitions you can include within the system requirements are nothing but on the last working day of each month, a summary of each drug prescribed, their cost and the prescribing clinics shall be generated. Right? The system shall generate the report for printing after the some time on the last working day of the month. A report shall be created on each clinic, shall list the individual drug name, the total number of prescriptions, the number of doses prescribed by the doctor and the total cost of the prescribed drugs. If the drugs are available in a different dose units, that also you need to generate a separate reports for that. and access to the drug cost reports that shall be restricted to the authorized users as listed on the management access control list. See, just by seeing this one, you'll come to know that the system requirements are going to have you have specified in more detail, at least by seeing this example. Yes or no? User requirement, just in a simple statement you have written, that can be easily understood, right? It is going to generate a report that showing that what will be the cost of the drugs prescribed by the each clinic during that. Now for example, which month is going on, in the last month, for example, we'll take May, right? Only that report will be generated. This is what user requirement, that can be easily understood by the customer, right? The end user. But the system requirements always will be having the in detail description will be there. See that some five stages or the 5 different indication they have given how the report will be generated for that ment case system. What are all the things will be there? It is going to have information related to the last month, right? Individual clinic according to the timing, right? According to the dose unit, right? Are you getting, guys? Just an
Yes, ma'am.
example how we are going to specify user requirement and the system requirement specification. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. Then next we will see how or which are all the readers are there for the different the two kinds of what the requirement specification. See, user requirements mainly read by the client managers, system end users, already you know the customers, end customers, and the client engineers, contractor managers, system architects. These all are going to read the user requirement specification. First see, whenever the company wants to develop a large software development, as already told, it is going to call for the bid. Yes, the several contractors will come, right? How they will come? Once they read the requirement, then only they can come for the bidding. Yes or no? So the client contractor managers are going to be a part of the user requirement. Are you getting? Who are going to read the user requirement? Normally first you know the end users. These are the first users who are going to use the user requirement. Are you getting? Who are all the readers for the different types of requirement specification? Correct? And the system requirement, once the contractor win the bidding, what he will do? He is going to specify the system requirements or the descriptions in detail. So the client needs to understand that one. So even though again, if you want to understand, again the system end users are also becomes the system requirement readers, and the client engineers, system architects who is going to develop that particular software, right? Who is going to design a system architecture for that system, and the software developers, right? These all will become the readers for the system requirement. Clear? Who wants to develop, who wants to
Yes,
implement
ma'am.
that software, that he must know what all the system requirements are there, then only it is possible for him to implement. Right? If you want to design that particular system, again the system architects needs to know the system requirement along with the client engineers, right? And the end users. These are the readers for this requirement specification. I hope it is clear. The readers for these two kinds of software specification or the requirement specification. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting, guys? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Next we will see what do you mean by system stakeholders. Right? What do you mean by system stakeholders? See, any person or the company, or you can say the organization who is affected by the system in some way, and so who has a legitimate interest in that particular system. Those you are calling it as a system stakeholders. The stakeholder may be an individual person, or it may be any company, enterprise, or the organization, right? if those are affected by that particular software system in any way, in some way, right? And those who has a legitimate interest in that particular software system, those you are calling it as a stakeholders. Now for example, you can say the stakeholders types: end users, right? End users, you may call it as a stakeholders, system managers, system owners, and or it may be a external stakeholders. These are the what different kinds of stakeholders are there. Are you getting what you mean by stakeholder?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean? It may be a person. Stakeholder you may indicate as a person, or it may be an organization who is going to have an interest in that system, or they may be affected by that particular system in some way. Correct. So now see, you are using this Google Meet, this particular software or the app you are using. Yes, so you will be the
Yes, ma'am.
stakeholder. You are the stakeholder for the Google Meet now. As a end user, you are using. Correct? Who is the owner of the Google Meet? Who has developed that particular app? Google, right? So the system owners will be also the stakeholders. Are you getting? Who is managing that particular software? Those software system managers also becomes, you can call it as a stakeholders, right? The Google company itself, you can call it as a stakeholder for the Google Meet. Are you getting? It may be an organization or it may be a person. Anything it could be, but those must be affected by the system in some way, or they must have a legitimate interest in that particular software system. Those you are calling it as a stakeholders. I hope it is clear, guys. Is that
Yes,
clear,
ma'am.
stakeholders? Now, with respect to again the same case study, that mental care healthcare system, you will see who are all the stakeholders will come into that mental care system. As already told, but what is the use of mental care health system? Just it is going to store the information. So the doctors, the nurse, or the medical staff along with the patient itself can access the information related to the drugs, or at what time, in which clinic he has visited last time, what is the drugs prescribed by that particular doctor. That everything information you are going to store in that personal mental care system, right? That is the work of the mental care system case study we have studied, right? In that, who will become the stakeholders, that we will see now. The patient, as already told, whose information is recorded in the system, so the patient will become the one of the stakeholder, because he is affected by that system, right? He is going to use that system, and he want to view what is the report generated last month, right? Where he went last time, which clinic he has visited, what is the drug prescribed by that particular doctor. He wants to know those all information he is going to access from that system. So the patients will become the stakeholder for the mental care system. Clear? Getting the thing? Are you getting, guys? Stakeholders.
Yes,
Hello.
ma'am.
Yes. Then next is doctors. Again, the doctors are going to access that particular mental care system, who are responsible for accessing and treating the patients. They will access the information. According to that, they are going to prescribe the medicine for the treatment, right? So doctors are also becomes the stakeholders in the mental care system, and the nurses somehow they are going to coordinate the consultation with the doctors and the administrator in some treatments. So the nurses will also becomes the stakeholders, because they are also using that system. And the medical receptionist, who are going to manage the patient appointments, right? This receptionists are going to handle the appointments of the patients. So the medical receptionist also becomes the stakeholders. IT staff, who are responsible for installing and maintaining the system. IT staff, there may be the system managers or software developers, right, or the testers, everything. IT staff includes everyone. Those are also responsible for installing and maintaining that particular software system. So them also you are calling it as a stakeholders within the mental care system. Are you getting, guys? Hello, are you getting? Overall, the stakeholders will
Yes,
be there
ma'am.
in the ment care system. Then along with that, just see the next one, the medical ethics manager. Some legal, some legal, what you can say, the guidelines will be there, right? Whenever you are using any of the system, already we have studied the system software ethics, right? Some set of rules will be there. Whenever you are using any kind of a software, those must be what? You must be knowing, you need to communicate with those, if you are using that software system, you must be use it in a legally manner. So the medical ethics manager who must ensure that the system meets the current ethical guidance for the patient care. Now see, in the mental care health system, what I did, I've stored all the information of the particular mental patient. Only that information is known to the doctors, nurses, medical staff and the patient. Only these are having the access to that particular system. No other kind of users. Otherwise, what will happen? The other person, if the relative of that person, if you will come to know that he is suffering from some mental illness, at that time they may criticize him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So to overcome that one, we are giving the permission for accessing that system. So some ethical guidelines will be there for that patient care. Those must be what? Those must be handled by the medical ethics manager. So the medical ethics manager will also becomes the one of the what? The stakeholder in the ment care system, and the healthcare managers who obtain the management information from the system, right? Management information from the system, healthcare managers, and along with that the medical records staff, right? Who is going to maintain the record, who are responsible for ensuring that the system information can be maintained and preserved, and that record keeping procedures have been properly implemented, right? This they are going to take care of these all things, how the information is maintained, how it is preserved, right? And they are also going to make the record keeping procedures that have been properly implemented or not. This everything they are going to check it out. So the medical record staffs are also becomes the stakeholders within the mental care system. I hope it is clear who are all the stakeholders are there in the mental care system. Are you getting, guys? Are you getting? How we are going to define a stakeholder? Stakeholders may be a person or it may be an organization, right? Who are going to affect by the system in some way. Yes or no? And they should have an interest in that particular system. Who are going to have an interest in that software system, those we are calling it as a stakeholders. So now we have seen with an example who all are the stakeholders will come in the mental care system. Are you getting, guys? Patient, doctor, nurse, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ethical manager, medical record staff, IT staff, medical receptionist, right? These are all you can call it as the stakeholders within the mental care health system. I hope it is clear, guys. Any doubts about the stakeholders?
Ma'am.
No?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Then last point of this first. Next we will see. Now we got to know that what is requirement, what is requirement engineering, which are all the different kinds of requirements are there, right? And what do you mean by stakeholders? These all things we have studied. Now we will compare these requirements with the agile methods. Already you know what is the use of agile method, guys. How the agile methods are going to work. Do you remember? Yes. Do you remember the agile methods are going to focus on the code, not on the documentation part? Have you remembered that one? The agile
Yes, ma'am.
methods are going to give a more focus on the code, not on the design or not on the documentation. So now we'll compare the agile methods with the requirement. Just go through the points, guys. Many agile methods argue that producing the detailed system requirement is waste of time as the requirements are going to change so quickly. Yes or no? Because of that, the agile methods are going to use the incremental development model, right? They are going to develop the system in terms of the increments. That is the case is there in the agile methods, at least that you remember. It is not going to generate the system at a time. Instead of that, it is going to develop the systems in the increments. Yes or no? As your requirements are going to change. Correct? That is the case in the agile method. At least remember that one.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what the agile methods will tell? They argue that the producing the detailed system requirement, as already you come to know that the system requirements is going to describe the system services and the functions in very detailed manner, right? So it is the detailed system requirement is a waste of time as the requirements are going to change so quickly, right? Then second one is the requirement document is therefore always out of date. Every time the requirement or the frequently if the requirements are changing, if you are producing the document, right? So again, once the requirements are changing, you need to make a change in the requirement document. So this is always out of the date. The agile methods usually use the incremental requirements, as already told, incremental requirement engineering, and may express the requirements as the user stories. Have you remembered this one? Stories are nothing but the requirement. Agile methods, we have studied this one. Whatever the requirements are there, user requirements are there in extreme programming release cycle. Did you remember, guys? They are
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to select the user requirement and they are going to write it as indicating it as a stories. Those will be written in the story card and those will be break down into this number of implementation tasks, right? Yes or no? This is practical for business systems but problematic for the systems that require the pre-delivery analysis or the system developed by the several teams. See, if you are writing all the requirement at once, right? At that time, if you want to pre-deliver that particular system, it is not possible by the requirement engineering process. But if you are using an incremental requirement engineering, what will happen? Some initial implementation will be done and that will be delivered to the customer. Yes or no? That is the case in the agile method we are using. They are going to do some initial implementation according to the user requirement priority. Some initial implementation will be done and that will be exposed to the customer. Exposing means that will be delivered to the customer. Correct? Yes or no? So only there
Yes,
will be
ma'am.
different versions of the systems will be developed or the implemented in the agile method, right? So but if you are using a requirement engineering process, what will happen? You are going to gather all the requirement at once and you are making a requirement document you are going to produce, right? If any requirement change, that time you need to make a change in the whole requirement document and it is not possible to deliver that requirement, whatever the requirement you have already gathered. According to that, it is not possible for you to deliver that particular the system to the customer because it is not going to specify all the requirements. Clear? So these are some advantages you are going to get by using the agile method over the requirement engineering. I hope it is clear, guys, getting the thing. Agile methods
Yes, ma'am.
usually use incremental requirements engineering, so and may express the requirement as a user stories, right? This is practical for business systems but problematic for the system that require the pre-delivery analysis. Clear? Before delivering the system to the customer, it is very problematic in case of the agile method or the system developed by the several teams. Is that clear, guys? Getting the thing? Agile methods and the requirements. Just comparison is there here. In the requirement engineering or the different kinds of requirement and along with the agile method. I hope it is clear, guys. The first point, just we have seen the introductory part of the requirement engineering. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Any doubts? See what are the things we have studied, guys, today. What is requirement engineering? What do you mean by requirement? Right? How it is going to serve the dual functionality? What are the different kinds of requirement? Some example, how we are going to define, who are all the readers for these different kinds of the requirement specification, right? What do you mean by stakeholders? With taking the one case study, that is a meant case system, we have defined who are all the stakeholders are there in that system. Then we have compared the agile methods with the requirement. Any doubts? Any doubts, guys? Is that
No,
everything
ma'am.
is clear? Any doubts?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
finding? Now tell me, what is requirement engineering process then? Can anyone? What is requirement engineering process? Or requirement specification, we can say. What is that?
Ma'am, it is the process used for requirement engineering, mainly depends on applications, ma'am.
Applications. What it is going to
Application.
give? What it is going to define? Requirement engineering process. No, Kiran.
Yes, ma'am.
Requirement engineering process, what it is going to define? What are all the things it is going to define? Requirement engineering or the software specification, you can say. Can anyone? Hello, Leena, Soumya, Sumaya, Ria, Sujit. Can anyone tell me what is requirement engineering process? Hello?
Ma'am, it
Again
is a
and again.
documenting a document and maintaining the requirements.
Okay, somewhat correct. Any other thing?
Ma'am,
Verification and validation, ma'am.
Verification and
Other-
validation
other-
you are going to do in the requirement specification. One example I told you guys, just remember
Ma'am.
that one. Huh? Yes, Kiran? Just remember the requirement engineering nothing but what system should do. That you are defining.
hello, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Kiran. Kiran, can you hear me?